impeding breath and failure to comply with a protective order in connection with the March 2023 arrest. Because he's saying, oh, I only pushed her on the side of the face to get her out the house, but her bodily injuries
were considered they were more comparable with assault and an attempted
because she had the markings around her neck, the scratches on her hand, as if she was probably trying to scratch to breathe. You get what I'm saying? And by the time she got to her car, she passed out. She thought she could drive away. So he gets arrested, and he's charged with impeding breath and failure to comply with the protective order. So Miles, a former Permian High School running back, was a primary subject of the book Friday Night Lights, A Town, a Team, and a Dream. And he was thought to have, dozens of top football scholarships and careers, but his athletic career was sidelined by a knee injury.
Yeah, so we saw that in the movie.
Right. So the knee injury, looks like the aftermath of high school.
But this is what people don't know. Character don't just show up. It don't show up just when he get out of high school. You see what I'm saying?
But it didn't, because if you watch the movie, that's what we loved so much. The cockiness, the attitude that he had within the movie about him being Bobbie. He was a shit, right? Mm-hmm. He was a shit from the way he talked, the way he treated people, the way he talked to the doctors. Remember when he was going back and forth for the knee injury? The movie did that just. Why? Because they had to be explained in the movie. People that knew Bobbie probably knew him to be this type of person. We weren't there, so watching the movie, we liked it because it came.
But people actually say they dimmed it down in the movie. It was one of his somebody. I knew somebody that played with him in Permian. He was a coach. The dude said even though he was, first of all, one dude that played with him said, first of all, he wasn't even the best player on the team. Mm-hmm. They said he was good. He had a lot of offers, but they make him look like he was the shit. Was like it was another running back on the team that was supposedly better than him. Mm-hmm. That got shine, but Bobbie was the man because he was his character, his star personality. But this dude literally said nobody liked him. They was like nobody liked him. Everybody hated him. He was cocky as hell. They was like he was arrogant, had an attitude. So they tried to make it look like that, but they dimmed it down.
But understand, here's what we forget about imagery. It's a movie. So they're giving you true events that happen. But within that, it's still a movie, right? We're taking it, right. So we're taking it verbatim with the love that we're watching in the movie. And that's what we're embodying because we don't know no better, especially about the person who wasn't there. So we're taking it firsthand, all of the emotions, the things that happen, and you just take it for face value. It's not till you really get to investigate a person that you can put two and two together and say, oh, I understand what the movie was trying to project because this is the type of person that I can see doing things exactly like this.
So who would have ever thought that your boy, Bobbie Miles, caught a rape charge, did 22 years in jail, just to get out of jail and violate his conditions of his requirements. So not only did he violate the sex offender requirements, but he caught another assault case, basically.
Assault case
and a drug case.
Possession. But this has been in his record for assault on a family member.
So start back from the beginning for the people that's just getting in, because there's a lot of people right now that's just getting in on Facebook in the group. Break this down for the people again.
Okay. So article starts by James Earl Bobbie Miles, who we know from Friday Night Lights, from his Friday Night Lights fame. It says, has been sentenced to 13 years in prison after an Ector County jury found him guilty of failure to comply with sex offender registration requirements. According to previous reports, in 2020, Miles was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to aggravated assault in connection with a 1999 assault. One of the terms of his plea agreements was that Miles had to register as a sex offender after his release from prison.
And that's a plea agreement. See, let's make this clear. People don't understand. This is a plea agreement. Mm-hmm. So that means
you have to abide by these.
But no. What I'm saying is that wasn't his mandatory sentence.
Oh, you're saying this is something.
That's an agreeable plea, basically, so you don't have to do all the terms of your jail time.
Okay.
Basically, you're going to get out on parole. You're going to get on parole. You're going to have to file as a sex offender. Mm-hmm. He couldn't even follow the plea agreements so he could stay out of jail.
No, because it says authorities said he failed to do so upon his release in 2022.
Yeah. Who the fuck would spend 20-something years in jail and not want to register? And as all you got to do is register as a sex offender?
Right. But it says Miles is now awaiting. So this article came out last year, I would say. So at that time, it says Miles is now awaiting trial on 2 family violence charges. This man is reckless.
Plus the drug charge.
Yes, this is right. Oh, that don't even come yet. Yeah, right. That don't even come yet. It says, according to Odessa Police Department report on March of 2023, officers were dispatched to a home on Dobbs to investigate a disturbance after a woman called 911 and said her ex-husband was choking her. Dispatch operators asked the officers to hurry to the scene because the victim's emergency call was disconnected and there was no answer on multiple callback attempts. At the scene, officers found a car parked in the roadway in front of the home. Investigators said the car was sticking out in the middle of the street and running. So it looked like maybe she tried to get away. She said she remembered turning on the car and then passed out. Because inside...
And she could have died from carbon dioxide.
She could have.
See, that's why that's why she was passed out. That's why she was passed out. If they would have never woke her up in that running car, she would have died from carbon dioxide poison. And this is another thing. And this is another thing. She didn't fall asleep. He choked her out.
Yes, because it says at the scene, the officers found the car parked in the roadway in front of the home. Investigators said the car was sticking out in the middle of the street and running. Inside, a woman later identified as Miles' ex was found slumped in the driver's seat, as if she was going to drive away, her head resting in the passenger seat. Investigators said they could not.
So that means she was in the driver's seat and slumped over. So that means she was trying to get away. And he passed out. And he choked her ass out.
He passed out. Now this is
now. Let me ask you something, because we got it. It's certain thing we got to talk about. He might have thought he killed her at that moment.
Well, no. See, the what happens in the house. He tried to say that he kind of like mushed her on the way out to get her to leave, like as if she don't.
No, he was in the car fighting her. That's why the only way she could be slumped over in the car is if you choke her in the car. And she falls out in the car. I know. Hold on. I don't want you to finish it. I don't want you to finish it. I want to dialogue. So the only way that she could be slumped over in the car is if he's choking her and then she falls in the car. But my thing is, he could have thought that he killed her at that time. Because remember, at this time, he don't know the cops is on the way. Because who leaves a girl that's slumped over in the car, passed out, just sitting there? For the cops to come. A normal person is trying to wake her up. Hey, baby girl, get up. Grab her out the car. Bring her in the house. He could have literally thought at that moment, because in the midst of arguing, going back and forth, he choking her, he grabbing her by the neck. He thinking, he in the midst of trying to, I'm tired of this bitch. She passed out. He thinks she dead. He get out the car. Now he in the crib trying to figure out what the fuck he gonna do, not realizing the cops on their way right now. What saved his life is that she was still alive and didn't die. Or we be talking about Bobbie Miles killed his ex-wife today. Finish it up.
Okay, so investigators said they could not tell if the woman was alive, and multiple knocks on the window went unanswered. Before medics arrived, officers said the woman regained consciousness and unlocked the door. The woman was found with redness on her neck as well as bleeding cuts on her hand. Investigators said that she had great difficulty speaking and breathing and said she thought her neck was broken. Before she was taken to a room.
Now you see that? Now she thought her neck was broken. Why would you think your neck broken? Somebody had to be choking your ass. Somebody had to be choking you to the point where you had to be getting choked the fuck out for you to get to the point where you think your neck broken.
Right. Because it says before she was taken to the emergency room for care, the victim said she'd been choked by Miles, her ex-husband, and told officer that he was still inside the home. So
he choked her out. Damn near tried to kill her.
Right. So, and then that's when it goes into you want me to read that again too?
Go ahead.
A records check on Miles. So they're getting ready to go into the home. So you know how they do. A records check on Miles revealed 16 prior arrests for crimes such as aggravated assault, disorderly conduct, assault on a family member, failure to comply with sex offender registration.
Now check this out. 16 prior arrests, right?
Yeah.
He went to jail in 1999. So from the time he got out of Permian High School to 1999,
it was rough.
This nigga got 16 charges. Think about this. You telling me that nobody was able to lay their hands on this man and help this man? From the time he graduated high school to the time he went to prison in 1999, he had 16 charges. So what year did he graduate in high school? They said that was in the 80s?
I think that was in the 80s, yeah.
What year was Bobbie Miles and Friday Night Lights, y'all?
Did he graduate?
Huh? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he graduated high school.
What year did he graduate?
What year did Bobbie Miles graduate? Hold on, let me see.
You want me to finish?
Let me find out what year he graduated first. What year did Bobbie Miles graduate high school from Odessa Permian? Okay, Bobbie Miles, he attended Permian High School in Odessa, Texas. Miles is a major figure in the Bissinger book as one of the top school running backs in Texas high school. Hold on, let me see. When did he graduate? Wikipedia tell you. He was born in 1970. April 6, 1970, he was born, right? So in 1999, when he went to jail, he would have been he'd have been 29. So in 1999, so 70 to 99, that's down in 30 years. So he at 29, he went to jail, went to prison. From 18 years old to 29, so let's say 28, in that 10-year span, from 18 to 28, that's only 10 years. Mm-hmm. That nigga caught 16 charges. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that means? That means nobody in that community laid hands on him. That means nobody tried to help him. Nobody tried to mentor him. This is why I say football. We got to take accountability. These coaches, people got to take accountability that was in his life too. Because when he was playing football, he probably was the man. Everybody give him what he want. Take him wherever he want to go. Do whatever he need for him. Right. What happened from 18 to 28? Right. What happened to all the people that was in his life? What happened to the mentors? What happened to the uncles? What happened to everybody that was in this man's life that was willing and ready to take from him when he get what he get, because they knew he was going to get whatever when he went to college.
Oh, yeah, these people, they're around you when they think that something good is coming on the other end. And, you know what I'm saying, once they don't see it, they leave you to your own demise. That's why it sounds like, I mean, it don't sound like nobody good, I'm not going to say nobody good was in this corner, but it don't seem like he was willing to listen to anybody. He's living on his own terms. You living a life of crime. What the fuck?
But from 18 to 28, do you know what has to happen to your life in a 10-year span to crash that hard to where in the next 10 years you're going to be like if you 18 and I looked at Bobbie Miles at 18 in high school and I said, Bobbie Miles, you're one of the best running backs in the state of Texas. But in 10 years, you're going to prison for 22 years.
Oh, like if you had a chance to foresee?
Yeah, if I had a chance to see.
Well, see, that's the thing, because here it discussed at the very end of the story about his knee injury, right? So if we're talking about a person who was projected to have so much off of his athleticism and, you know, just the progress that they expected him to have, and you got a knee injury, right? If you're a narcissist, and the movie shows that this was his life, that's what he put into his life. He, you know, we all know the part of the movie when he's sitting in the car with his uncle and he's like, what am I going to do now? You get what I'm saying? What about me? Why is this happening to me? Now imagine embodying that feeling, because now you know your future has just changed. It shows his priors show him to be angry, assault, drug possession, violating the protective order, sex offender. Nothing shows this about a happy person, right?
Oh, see, this
right?
is
no,
all right.
So
let me put you on game. Read this, because this would explains a lot. Read his early life. This would explain a lot, y'all.
Under this here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it shows Miles was born en route at St. Luke's Hospital in Houston with a police escort on April 16 of 1970. He lived with his parents until he was 3 when his mother left him with his maternal grandmother in Houston and moved permanently to Oklahoma without him. Around the age of 5, Miles went to live with his father, James Sr. The elder Miles was working 2 jobs as a truck driver and a printing plant laborer, which left Miles lonely for most of his time. His father lost custody of Bobbie when he started dating a woman who Bobbie said